All right, so the coin we are covering today is Algorand, which is in the news today for a super weird way. Martin Shkreli, otherwise known as the Pharma Bro, that was in jail for the last year or so, was hosting a Twitter Spaces last night to talk about all things Bitcoin, crypto, and Web3. And it was attended by some bigwigs like Mark Andreessen, the founder of Andreessen Horowitz and A16Z, the largest crypto venture capitalist or VC firm in the world. And also Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase founder and CEO. Not totally sure why big brain dudes like that are listening in to hear the Farmer Bros ideas about Bitcoin and Web3 and crypto and where it's going, but probably out of humor and out of boredom on a Saturday night, I would guess. But oddly, for a Twitter space about Bitcoin, Web3, and crypto, he was not very bullish on Web3 or Bitcoin. He said he sees no difference between Web2 and Web3. But oddly, he is very bullish on, you guessed it, Algorand. Someone asked him about Bitcoin mining, and he said, quoting, this is in quotes, I do think it's ridiculous that these things should consume energy at all. He said you could be cryptographically secure without burning energy. He said if you look at Algorand and others, there are other ways to do it. And yeah, he's actually even weirdly more bullish on Filecoin and Arweave. So we do have some competition for the Farmer Bros heart after all. But I think it's very, very weird. The two most publicly facing people promoting Algorand are Martin Shkreli and Anthony Scaramucci. Scaramucci on another podcast recently joked about just that, saying that nobody, in America likes him. He basically pissed everyone off. One by working for Trump, which pissed off all the Democrats and made them hate him. And then he pissed off all the Republicans by leaving Trump. And so anyway, I think we probably could have some better facing people out there in the public, but at least somebody's talking about us. All press is good press or whatever they say. And speaking of press, the guy who's kind of the 800-pound gorilla in tech press, Michael Arrington, who I think should probably be more public about his backing of Algorand. He's put billions into Algorand through Arrington Capital. He's the owner and founder of that as well, though Michael Arrington is also very controversial in Silicon Valley and pretty much hated for some certain things at his time as being the head of TechCrunch back in the day. But anyway, suffice it to say, we probably need need a better facing person, than that. Shkreli. Well, hopefully he gets more on the Arweave and Filecoin train there, and leaves Algorand alone for the time being. But yeah, as in terms of where Algorand's going from here, I think it's very bullish into the next two quarters here. We got FIFA, the World Cup coming up, and that FIFA partnership and sponsorship that Algorand is doing, I think is very bullish for them. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I have made it known publicly many times that I own a irresponsibly big bag of Algorand. I bought in a long time ago, wrote it all the way up, and now wrote it all the way back down again. So yeah, take anything I say or anyone else says about Algorand or any other coin, with a grain of salt. And certainly Scaramucci too, because I think his firm's put in about $1 billion into Algorand, and right now we're sitting at a $2.9 billion market cap, 6.9 fully diluted. But with just that 2. I know there's been more venture capital dollars than 2.9 billion that's gone into Algorand. So I think we will see the dividends of those investments really play out in the years to come. Right now, I think price is suppressed really from macro trends and just because Bitcoin's down, and where Bitcoin goes, everything goes. So as Bitcoin is not quite decoupled from the macro and traditional markets, something like Algorand is going to be not as decoupled from Bitcoin for quite a while as well. But at 44 cents today, trading at 44 cents, I put in a little more into Algo a couple days ago. My price predictions for the rest of the year, I think we can certainly get back above $1. I think that's certainly realistic. I think we were at about $1 just 90 days ago. So I don't think that's completely unrealistic, as I see, people talking on Reddit and elsewhere. People are very, very bearish on Algo for the rest of this year, and are making predictions for Algorand to maybe get to $1 or $2 in the next 5 to 10 years. But I think it can happen a lot quicker than that, because I think, as we're seeing with RSI indicators for Bitcoin and others, that we're just about as oversold as we've ever been. And in terms of fear and greed indexes, we're at all-time lows. So I think we're going to see a whipsaw here back in the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably, hopefully this week. I think we're already seeing Bitcoin kind of increase over the last couple days, in certain indicators. And in price, I think we're just above 30,000 again today. So, but yeah, I think with the Napster acquisition, I think that's hugely valuable. Probably a lot of people don't even really remember Napster. That's kind of in the boomer days when I was coming up. But I think that integration with NFTs and then working with Universal Music Group and Taylor Swift and everyone else on those NFT projects, and also all the dividends we're going to have from a lot of the NFTs that we're building on Terra now moving over to Algorand. I think that's hugely bullish as well. And then also, yeah, and then FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried kind of getting in a little bit behind Algorand by listing Algorand on FTX recently. And for you guys who are excited about Coinbase, you now can stake your Algorand there, make 5.5% back, which is great. It used to be, I think, 6%, then down to 4%, then down to like 0.5%. But now we're back up to 5.5% APY with Coinbase. But if you do work with FTX, not sponsored by Coinbase or FTX, but if you do want to, or if you're kind of old school like me and want to keep things not off chain as possible, because as we saw with Terra, that's not the most ideal thing to have your your stuff locked in wallet sometimes. But if you do want to stake it with FTX, they offer 8% APY in their earn program. So if you're going to keep it on chain or on exchange, I would probably do it with FTX over Coinbase, just because you can earn a little bit more there. But again, not sponsored by either of those. I am sponsored by BlockFi. So if you guys want to get that BlockFi credit card, use that link down below. I love it. I mean, I use it every single day. It's like the only credit card I use. You get 1.5% back on every purchase. And then when you first sign up, I think for the first 90 days, you get like 3.5% back in Bitcoin. So you can just stack those Satoshis all day long. But yeah, that's kind of our take on Algorand. Very weird night with Shkreli, spouting off about Algorand and some of his other, big investments. But anyway, yeah, I think all the NFT stuff, I think this Terra explosion in the short term, it hurts Algorand and others, but I think especially with the work that Algorand is doing to kind of import a lot of those projects and all those developers over to Algorand, I think is hugely bullish, because that's one thing we're lacking is the developer certainly community, and then also community in general. I think we're at like 67,000 followers on Reddit, which pales in comparison to some of the other bigger layer ones. But anyway, yeah, I think the future is certainly bright for Algorand. Still very bullish. Not financial advice. Don't listen to what I'm saying, for entertainment purposes only. But I think we're going to be back above $1 before the end of the year is my price prediction. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to hit stop recording here. We'll be back with another coin prediction, coin analysis video, probably tomorrow. And in the short term, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and we will see you again. I'm going to stop babbling and hit stop recording right now. Bye bye.